Should be live now.
Cool. So we should be live. Hello, everybody. And yeah, welcome to what's tonight? Thursday night? Thursday night. Paul and I just hanging out. And we're going to talk a little bit about land investing. That's what we do. So, and the topic today is we're going to talk about how to build systems in your land investing business. And we're going to talk about how it relates to the buy side and then the sell side. So we'll get into that discussion. And before we get into it, we want to mention we are offering coaching for those that are interested in the land investment business, or we've got a comprehensive online course. If you're interested in learning from us and learning our systems and learning what we've gone through over the past 3 years, how we've perfected this and really built out a pretty big business that looks a lot different than it's bigger, it's more scaled out, and than I would say the large majority of anyone in the land investing space. So you can go to landinvestingpros.com to learn more about that. And so let's get into it. How are you doing tonight, Paul?
I'm doing pretty well. It looks like we got some people on here already. So if you're here, give us a shout out, give us a quick comment. We got some new software. You can see our sexy little overlay thing that we got created. Trying to step up our game. We got new cameras. We're still waiting for those to work correctly, but soon we're going to be, 4K. Got turning into real YouTubers here. Check out this. Got a little light that we'll be putting in pretty soon. We got let's see what else we got here. Dang, sorry about that. We got like a legit microphone. We're still practicing, not using it yet, but we're practicing. So anyways, we're live right now, and yeah, shoot us some questions. We're just going to kind of mess around and talk about scaling land businesses.
All right. So if anyone's got any questions, feel free to chime in. We'll try to answer them live, try to answer them the best we can. So feel free to just get involved. So let's get into it.
Someone said, will you be taking questions? Yeah, someone said, will you be taking questions? So
of course.
Yeah, shoot away, shoot your questions. Let's try this out. Oh, let's check that out. Boom. I can just click that button and it'll show it on there. You see that?
What'd you do? I don't think I saw what you did.
Look at our screen.
Oh, whoa.
You
All
see
right,
it?
cool. Fancy.
All right, so
yeah,
we'll be taking questions. So post a question.
All right.
In the meantime, let's get into it.
Cool. So let's talk about let's first talk about how we buy property and building systems on the buy side. What have we automated on the buy side? And I guess what are some of the first things that people should think about automating on the buy side?
I would say on the buy side, wow, we're getting the questions in quickly. This is great. So on the buy side, the first thing that you should automate is, I would say the first mailer, you should definitely be answering the phones. I was just actually on our coaching call. Was that today or yesterday? We had that call, I think yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah. I was just thinking about when we used to take the phone calls. Remember? And like you would drop F-bombs and swear at people and just tell people off. And I'm like, dude, we're running a business. And then like I would get a phone call. Do you remember how bad it used to be in the office?
Yeah, it was actually really funny. I haven't thought about that in a long time. I used to get into it with people, with like sellers who got mad.
We were doing that one time where I got so mad at the guy, I told him to go F himself and that he's like the worst person I've ever met. And then I went outside. I had to go down the elevator and walk outside because I was so pissed at this guy because he wasted 15 minutes of my time. Do you remember that? I was so mad at this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to get in fights with sellers who didn't like our offer prices.
So I would say going into that, like if you're going to answer the phone, the number one question that you need to ask before you get into anything is, are you accepting our offer? If you just ask that question, you can avoid all this stuff. Like that's the number one thing that I would say led to these conversations of us telling people to go screw themselves.
Yeah.
But so I'd say after your first mailer, you're gonna get angry. You're gonna get people that yell at you. It's just gonna suck. And then I would outsource answering the phone. So we waited I think we waited way too long to outsource that. we were getting calls all day long of people trying to sell their land. And if we would have just outsourced it to Pat Live's amazing. Check this out. We can do this. So if people couldn't hear what I said, it could be like this. One, ready guys? Ready for this? So I'm talking about Pat Live. Watch this.
I'm waiting. Ooh.
Whoa! Look at that at the bottom.
Whoa.
See that?
It's pretty good.
See that? Trying out
Pretty
the
good.
trying out the new course tonight. So yeah, if you want to outsource your you want to outsource your answering service. So what they are, they're an answering service where you like your land business is directly linked to Pat Live. So it's a live person in the U.S. who answers the phone, and we have a script that we give them of questions and vital information that we have them ask the buyer. So that's like, are you accepting our offer? How much is the offer price? All right, we're done with that. How much is the offer price? How many acres is it? If you're not accepting your offer, what's your counter offer? So then we know, like, basically we can sort it out of like who is actually a serious person that wants to sell their land and who's just tire kicking and wasting our time and getting people angry. And I guess we can kind of jump into one of the Facebook. For some reason, it's not showing their name. Let me check the Facebook group. It just says Facebook.
Yeah, I think if there's some privacy setting where if they don't want to, in their Facebook privacy setting, it doesn't show. I don't know, but I don't think you could see it unless you go into that.
Okay, so this okay, so it looks like it's from. This is from Aaron Perez. This is a good question for you, Willie. Can you see that?
Yeah. So what do your offer letters look like?
So the question is, what do your offer letters look like? And I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, so we are sending out one-page offer letters. We're nothing crazy. It's nothing spectacular. It literally is.
We don't do what do other people do? They don't put a price in them, which I think is stupid.
Just like neutral letters.
Yeah, we don't do neutral letters.
If you really want to waste some time, send out some neutral letters. But yeah, so I mean, all we do. I remember before we got into this business, Paul, we were discussing like sending out offers and like split testing all these offer letters and one pagers, two pagers. See if this like logo goes there, whatever, some stupid stuff like that. And then we sent out this crappy one-page agreement that literally just says we're interested in buying your property.
It looks really sketchy. Like
it looks really sketchy.
Really sketchy.
And if you get it in the mail, you're like, who's trying to scam me, kind of. But I mean, it's a one-page agreement, and it says I'm willing to buy your property at this price, and we'll close quickly. That's literally, I mean, there's a little bit more in there, but for the most part, that's all it says. So when you offer people money in the mail, it doesn't really matter how professional it looks, in my view. I mean, it's good if you make it look professional and it looks good, but from my experience, you're gonna get a response rate if you're offering a good price for an asset that they own, that they don't really use, they don't really want, they don't really understand. It's going to generate interest, and the only thing is, if you put a price in there and you express interest, that is the only thing that matters. So there's so many details that you can focus on. I'm all about weeding out details that are unimportant. In the offer letter, the only thing that's important is having an offer price and a parcel number and stating we're interested in buying your land. If you have those three things, like, that's really, in my view, all that matters. You could focus on the aesthetics, you could focus on making it look professional, but if you got an offer price, you state your interest in buying someone's property, you're going to generate interest, and it's going to be overwhelming because people do want cash for their land. And so, yeah, it's nothing spectacular, but that's all we put. Anything else you want to add on that?
Yeah, what I would like to add about it is, coming from my background of being in Amazon, it's all about like the latest trends, knowing the latest SEO tricks, knowing just you have to be up to, like, things change every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. The algorithms are changing and buying patterns are changing, and it's really, really just like a dynamic environment. Whereas the land business is like, we literally still get faxes. We have a fax line. We probably get at least 1 to 2 faxes every single day. We get faxes. People don't even have computers that we buy land from. They send us. They're like, sorry, I don't have a computer. I can only do this via the mail. Like they literally have contact with us via snail mail. It's very common. Like it's not like, oh, once in a while we get a fax. No, every single day we're getting faxes of people wanting to sell their land. And so that's why this stuff works. Like these, like a sketchy, I mean, it looks sketchy, the offer letter, but it works because of the people that we're dealing with, and it's not like some high-tech industry. And I think that that's super cool that, you know, we're still doing that. We have a fax line and we get faxes all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what else?
We got, here's a, well, here, we got another question from Johnny Simmons from YouTube. When pricing your mail, do you focus more on the for sale comps or the sold comps? This is actually a fight that me and Willie have all the time. I love the sold comps. He loves the for sale comps. So this is actually could be like, this could be like a whole debate, to be honest with you.
It's not a, I mean,
there's no right or wrong
right about it. It's just different data. I like to compare what's on the market. The sold comps are obviously relevant, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're competing against who's on the market right now. And the way we run our business is, I mean, we are so much better at selling these things than anyone else on the market. And it's not even close that, like, if we're able to buy property at lower, like meaningfully lower prices, and I can see what the median price on the market is, and what pretty much if I had this property today, what the median price on that in the market would be. Like I know I'm very confident we would be able to sell it at that price much faster and better than anyone else on there. So I'm looking at the current competition. The sold data is obviously helpful and it's relevant, and we do take that into account. But some of the data, if you're looking at Zillow, is a little bit screwy. It's a little bit low, and I don't know how accurate it is. I'm sure a lot of it's accurate, but some of it is. I'm not sure where the data comes from. But so I mean, it's all important and relevant into the picture in my view. But I like to focus on what's on the market and compare where we're going to price that and back into what I want to buy that based on what's on the market. So that's my perspective. Paul, you want to add yours?
Yeah, I just like looking at the sold data to know, like, okay, this is what happened versus like this is what people want. And so again, I want to relate it to my Amazon business. There's a software that I use. You know what? Should I share my screen and show them how I look at Amazon? I know it's like a little random, but
go for it.
It's kind of relevant.
It's
kind of relevant to looking at data. So I'm going to show you guys stuff that you probably have never. What?
So you do data
give me a product. Give me a product, any product.
Rat traps.
Rat traps, product that I sell. So when I browse Amazon, hold on, I just wanted to use the screen share feature.
Hopefully it doesn't bust the live. Ooh.
Wow, look at that. That's cool.
Fancy.
Oops, you can see my text. That's not good. This is cool. We're just testing features here, to be honest with you. So this is loading really slow, but like, so I could take any product on Amazon, and this is just going back to looking at historical data. So this is some rat trap. Willie said rat trap. That's going really slow. But you just see like this, but I see this. Wait for this to load. So what I see here is, this is the historical price point of the product. Of, you know, at this price point, it was basically, this was the rank in sales. So like how many sales per day relative to other products in the category, this number sales rank. And then this is the price. And so it's pretty cool to see like, okay, like this is around when Corona hit. Like this is when it hit, and then everyone started buying rat traps. You see that? So I can look at, what?
Everyone started buying? I don't get it.
Yeah. So see this chart right here? See how it starts? See how the sales rank here is like 3,000?
Yep.
Then March 10th, 12th. That was like when Corona got bad.
Yep.
The sales rank just completely dropped to like in the 300s. So they started selling like 10 times the amount they were selling before. See that?
Yeah.
And so basically, like, look, this is like talking about historical data. This tells me like basically for the last month, this is what this product has been doing, and this at this price point. And then as you adjust the price point, this chart changes. See, at like $24. This was at $24, and the demand went up. So then they went up to $27 in price. So for me, I think like going back to Zillow, I like sold data a lot better, just because it gives me a historical perspective of what people bought things for, and I guess that kind of gives a little background as to why I like historical data.
All right.
So there's
That's
your
good.
little Amazon lesson for the day.
All right. Cool.
I never even showed you that before, have I?
No. But
To be honest,
Amazon lesson.
I just wanted to do a screen share, to be honest.
Okay.
Test it out. It's pretty smooth.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. I think we got another question here. Guys, keep filing in the questions. I know there's like some people watching. So Randy Carter. Nice picture, Randy. I like that. Bulls fan. You from Chicago, Randy? Because we are. His question is, hey guys, what acreage do you target? We used to be like, oh yeah, we love big parcels, but now I don't really like big parcels. Do you?
I'll still take some big parcels, for sure. I think it's good to have a good mix, but I mean, we'll buy anything from 1/10 of an acre all the way up to, what's the biggest we've bought? I bought it like 180 before. That's about the biggest I've bought it. We don't really mess around with that too much.
Like New Mexico?
New Mexico.
No, I'm saying, where'd you buy 180 acres?
California.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was.
Larry's been working still on that 171 acres. I don't know if we'll get it, but
yeah,
that'd be sweet.
He said, "Call me good news."
Yeah, he called me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll buy anything from. We're not picky on acre size. We'll buy it. As long as we get it at a good enough price, we'll buy it. 1/10 of an acre, quarter acre, half acre, 2 acre, 5 acre, 10 acre, 20 acre, 40 acre.
I think it also has to do with where we're mailing. Like, if we're in Florida, for example, if we get anything that's like even an acre, that's like very rare. But then if you're in like Arizona or something, there's all acreage sizes. So it really depends on the area that you're mailing in. Like, so we just did a huge mailer on Tuesday. We did 18,000 units, massive mailer, because we want to get a lot of properties coming up soon. And so on this massive mailer, we only did it was up to basically 1 to 10 acres, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was 1 to 10. I think it was right.
But in that same area, we've bought 40 acres, 20 acres. But for this mailer, we wanted like the bulk of the data was in the 1 to 10 acreage size. So that's what we went for on this mailer. And we wanted to price it appropriately. And then when you're going for the bigger acreage sizes, obviously you're outlaying more capital. So it's basically a different strategy. I think that answers that question. Randy, let me know if you have any other questions. And if you are from Chicago, because you're repping that Bulls hat there, love it. All right, we got some more questions. I love it. The questions keep asking questions. This is your time to ask us whatever is on your mind, even if it's inappropriate. We will answer your question. If only people knew what went on in our office. Aaron Perez, do you mail a list more than once? Hell yeah. How much do we rotate it? Every 3 months, basically?
I don't know if we have a set in time. There's so much data out there, but yeah, I mean, we've hit it as frequently as 3 months. Yeah, if you've got a good list, I don't see a reason not to. You could certainly hit it again, but there's so many good areas, so many spots to hit. We don't regularly re-hit areas too often. I mean, we'll hit them maybe every 3 to 6 months, but I don't see a need to hit it any more than that.
And you can hit it from the front, you can hit it from the side, and you can hit it from the back.
Yeah, true. Good point. Good points. So yeah, probably. I mean, I don't see an issue. You could hit it within 3 months, but there's so much data out there, so many good markets to hit. There's no, in my view, reason to hit it more than like once every 6 months, but you'll still yield results if you continue just mailing it. Like the more you market in an area, the more people start to remember your name, remember your offers, and be like, "Oh, you're the guy who sent me 5 different letters." Yeah, I got another letter from a different land company, but you clearly want it more. So you can do that. But I mean, there's so much data out there. I wouldn't. We don't hit anything really more than once every 6 months.
Well,
In fact, I can't remember the last time we re-hit the same exact list, but I mean, we've definitely done it in the past.
yeah, and I mean, old leads come through all the time. Like if you have a good list, like we have an area that we hit quite a bit, and like a couple of days ago, I was skimming yesterday actually skimming through emails. Someone wanted to sell something. I think we offered them in like maybe January or February, and then we told everyone we're not buying because of Corona. And then they followed up. They said, "Can we please sell this to you? Like, what are you still interested?" And so I knew that when they said, "Are you still interested?" that they were desperate to get rid of it. So our original offer was 6,000, and I had Andrew send an email saying, "Sorry, but due to the recession, we're going to have to offer only $3,000. Do you want to accept this offer?" And they did. And it's a property that will probably sell for like 30. But that's another thing I wanted to bring up is during this, you can literally negotiate against yourself. Or even though we renegotiate against an initial offer all the time. It's not something I say that you should do, but if you need to, it's really easy, especially right now, to send out an offer and then be like, "Oh crap, I overpriced this," and then negotiate down, and most of the time people accept it.
Yeah, I mean, we only really do that if we've overpriced it. I mean, if it's a good lot, then you risk losing the deal if you do that. So I mean, generally don't, and we generally price it pretty well. But if we happen to misprice it, then um, yeah, I mean, we're definitely finding deals out there.
Hey, I like this. Ready for this, Willie?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What Randy, post what your skills are. Always interns are not a bad thing. Once this coronavirus passes, we're down in the loop if you want to come hang out. But right now I'm in Florida, he's in Chicago, and once this stuff passes, keep us in mind. Follow us on Facebook. Um, next question. Facebook user. This is Pono, right? What software or how do you guys keep all your counties you mail in order? We really we mail like basically we have our kind of rotating list of where we mail, and I don't know, Will, you can kind of why don't you talk about the screenshots and folders that we keep on Dropbox, and I guess this can go into building systems, right?
Yeah, I don't really want to get into our specific Dropbox, but
No,
um,
no, 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 not go into the Dropbox, but just tell them the basic concept of how, like these are the filters that we use. This is the screenshot, Dropbox folder, move on to the next in
so
the date.
keep counties you mail in order. Yeah, I mean, so we have, I guess, if you're trying to see how like our organization system, we use a Google Drive folder, and we just have, I mean, all of our files, all of our data, everything's in there. And then we have a folder for mailers, and then we have in that mailer folder, we have subfolders for every single mailer we sent and the date. So it's important for us to label those by date. So we will label it 2020.0514 or whatever, just so everything is in order. And when you create a new one, it goes to the bottom of that list. And then you could inside that subfolder, say you're mailing Valencia County, New Mexico, Valencia County, New Mexico, and then in there we keep um, we will have our raw data spreadsheet, our formatted data spreadsheet. So use data tree and get the list. If you don't know how to get a list, you can go to landvas.com. We've got our we've got the best pricing on data tree there. But we get our list on data tree, and so we'll get those Excel sheets, and so raw data, formatted data, and then we'll have our purchase agreement in there, and then we're also going to have our polygon, which is so when we send out mail, Paul and I, our system, the reason why we're different than anyone else out there is because we hyper target neighborhoods. I mean, one of the reasons, one of the things that we do differently than everyone else is we don't blast counties. We don't get our data from the county. We don't get our data from title companies. We don't get our data from tax delinquent lists. We feel very strongly the most important thing you do is hyper target good areas. So you get your polygon, and then we save that in the folder. So our polygon is pretty much a geo-target area that you could use to target locations in data tree. So we'll save that, so the polygon, the criteria in data tree, so what acreage sizes, what assessed value, whatever range, all that is saved in a Word document. We'll have our spreadsheets that I just mentioned, the raw data, the formatted data, and the purchase agreements. That's all saved in that subfolder. And then, yeah, so hopefully that was a little bit complicated, but that's how we organize it. So subfolders within subfolders, organized by date, and all the files for that specific mailer in there. What'd you say?
Yeah, with screenshots, and then you can just look back at the date and be like, we mailed this county
Yep.
with this acres on this date. It's been 3 months. Let's do it again. Next question. Keep the questions coming, guys. So this is from Chris DeSisto. So you guys are kind of just mixing the sold and selling data and offering the amount to offer how much profit you want to make. Well, this is a you question.
So we need our margins to be what we need them to be. And so we know what the market is trading for, because the data tells us. You on Zillow, you see, okay, here's what we'll be able to sell it for. Based on that data, we'll be able to, we need to get it at this price in order to get our margin to where it needs to be. So generally speaking, we've got 85% margins. We want to buy things at 15 cents on the dollar. And so, we're really just backing into what our purchase price needs to be. And then once leads come through on the buy side, we have already done the diligence on the front end by pricing things out. Pretty much if we know that we could sell something for 10 grand on terms or something like that, we'll make an offer at $1,500, something along those lines. But we use the data to back into what our offer price is going to be. So when we get properties coming through, we don't really need to do any more work. And that's kind of the benefit of not sending out neutral letters, is that you've already done your work on the front end and you don't need to spend all your day comping out properties.
All right, and then this one goes along with that. I can answer this. When mailing a new county, do you blast the entire county or mail in a small amount of mailer? We never blast an entire county. That's just stupid. And whoever, there's a lot of other people teaching you to do that. It's very simple to just look. You can use data tree and make polygons, and you need to hyper geo-target the areas that you want to mail, and not just blast the whole county. You're going to waste money on mail.
Man, yeah. Someone's growing a pot farm on one of my properties. I just got a nice notification. This is an old deal. You there, Paul? I think Paul froze. Let's call him. See if still live. I think I should be. At least it's working on my end. Or now it looks like.
Hello?
I think you're froze.
Yeah, no, I lost connection.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we're still live. So,
Okay.
All right. Well, I think this is maybe a good point to call it.
Here we go.
Are you back? All right. We'll wait for him for a second. He says he's back. Let's see if we got any other questions here. Aaron Price says, I like that. Good. I don't know if there's any on YouTube, but I think we're.
Can you hear me?
Hear you now.
Yeah, I don't know why my camera's not working.
All right. Stuff happens.
Oh, there we are. There we are. Oh, dang. Randy Carter. I'm a Land Investing Pros member. Will you guys have another wholesale list soon? When's the last time you saw your wholesale list? Because we update them quite a bit.
Yeah, so it's still available. If you're interested in wholesale properties, email Andrew at landinvestingpros.com. And so on our wholesale list, we've pre-vetted markets. So we feel strongly the market's the most important aspect of getting started. And if you're not analyzing the data, you're not selecting counties or areas properly, or then you might get in trouble. So, I mean, we have a pre-vetted list of markets that we've sold plenty of property in. And I mean, we've done the diligence, we've analyzed the data, and trust these markets are good to sell in. And so, yeah, if you're interested in those, look at that. Go email Andrew at the email that Paul just provided.
Pretty sweet. I like this software a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely better. You were right.
Yeah, this is the move. Okay.
Check this out. Someone's growing pod farms on one of my lots.
No way.
Paul.
Is that from the county?
Yeah, I'm not happy about it.
Is that one of your lots or our lots?
One of mine. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm not particularly happy about it.
You always have problems.
I just texted the seller or the buyer, and says they have no idea anything about this. And they've been making payments on this lot for a little while now. So I got to call them and tell them I have no idea what's going on here. So
That's great.
great.
It's always fun.
Yeah.
Well, now that we hired Chris, you could give that to Chris as a project, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if anyone has any other questions, shoot them through now. Otherwise, I think this is a good time to wrap it up for the night. Anyone? Bueller? And that's it.
Okay.
So we're going to
Sounds
end.
good to me.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Paul.
Bye.